Jai Gurudev, welcome to Connect with the Divine with Paramahamsa Sri Swami Vishwananda. Paramahamsa Vishwananda is an enlightened, God-realized spiritual master. His mission on earth is to open the hearts of mankind, and through his Bhakti Marga organization, he helps spiritual seekers experience and cultivate a very uniquely personal relationship with God. The Sanskrit word bhakti means love and devotion, and Bhakti Marga is the path of living and loving the divine in daily life. One way to do this is through chanting the name of God. This practice is also known as japam. Chanting is a very simple yet powerful practice that has been used for thousands of years. Ancient saints and yogis have called upon the power of chanting to help calm the mind and to attain higher states of consciousness. Many different spiritual traditions use chanting as a way to connect more intimately with the source of life itself. Chanting the Lord's name invokes His divine presence, and chanting with love helps you to realize Him within your own heart. You will notice that Paramahamsa Vishwananda is using a string of 108 prayer beads called a mala. A mala carries the vibrational energy of the divine name and helps to keep track of the repetitions. Paramahamsa Vishwananda will come online in just a few moments, and when he does, he will invite you to chant along with him for approximately 15 minutes. After the chanting is finished, he will lead everyone in a very short guided meditation to support Mother Earth. Once the meditation is finished, please sit quietly for a few moments to enjoy the effects of your japam. When Paramahamsa Vishwananda comes back online, he will give satsang by answering your spiritual questions and revealing timeless truths to help you rise above the challenges and fears of today's world. It is very rare to have such access to a living master, and it is even more special to have the opportunity to learn directly from him. We hope you enjoy your connection with the divine.
Have you ever looked into the eyes of a spiritual master? Come and experience it for yourself. Look into the eyes of real, unconditional love and let it open your heart. Paramahamsa Sri Swami Vishwananda is a God-realized master who lives in constant union with the divine. He lives at a place in the heart of Europe. It is called the home of the Divine Mother. From here, he is now giving what is called darshan online so that everyone can benefit. Darshan means divine sight, but simple words cannot do justice to the incredible experience of seeing and being seen by him. Look into the eyes of unconditional love and let it open your heart. You can now have your own experience of this divine master from wherever you are. Feel it for yourself and let love return.
Vida Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha, Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Kamalnathaya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Sanatanaya Namaha. Bhajo bhajo vitala ranga singha vitala, 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 vitala vitala ranga singha vitala, bhajo bhajo vitala ranga singha vitala, vitala vitala ranga singha vitala, bhajo bhajo vitala ranga singha vitala, vitala vitala ranga
Jai Gurudev, everyone. Let us chant the divine name together. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. 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 ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। Gurudev again, everyone. So I will ask Pankaj to ask your question. Pankaj.
An intelligent person must inquire from a spiritual master about the goal of life. A satguru can answer all such questions because he has seen the real truth. So my question is, how can I improve the quality of my questions to inquire of you and bring what's really relevant, not only for my ears, but for the ears of everyone listening?
Actually, this is a beautiful question. As you have said in the question itself, an intelligent person knows where to inquire about the goal of life. Because very often people try to find the goal of life elsewhere, one at the Guru's feet. They want to find the goal of life into the material reality. If you want to learn mathematics, you have to go to a mathematics teacher. You want to learn physics, you go to a physics teacher. But if you want to understand the real goal of life, is only at the feet of the Sadguru. And as your question have said, that the Sadguru have seen the real truth. And of course he knows the answer for these. And your question is, how can I improve the quality of my question to inquire of you and bring what really relevant? It's true, very often whenever I ask question to people goes into a dilemma. Either they are shy or really they feel embarrassed to ask the question. Firstly, Guru have a different understanding from normal people. And of course, you can approach the Guru with any question because Guru have understanding. Guru will not judge you or criticize you. He will understand that, well, people go through different stages in life. But if you really want to inquire, what is relevant, not only for your ears, but for the ears of everybody, then it's better to ask question about spirituality. Question which relate to your journey of life towards the ultimate goal, which is the lotus feet of the Lord Himself. So ask spiritual question which it is accordance to your spiritual path and what you're searching about. Because very often people ask all kind of question which is irrelevant to the spiritual path. So as you are on the spiritual path and you are at the feet of the Guru, and this is the best opportunity to take in your life and ask directly the Sadguru. And also what you receive, one day maybe this will help others as an answer for their life, which one day maybe you will share it with them. So that's why what you are asking, you have to be very diligent and very precise, and more clear you are, and clearer will be the answer itself. So when you ask a question, think how that question will benefit for you and also for others. So this is how you will evolve, and how what you ask will have a very lightweight, but you can carry that wherever you go.
People often say that spirituality should not have anything to do with money. But to do any kind of service, we always need a certain amount of help to finance projects. As devotees, what should our attitude be towards money and supporting spiritual service activities financially?
That is also a very nice question, because it's true, on the spiritual path, often people think that the spirituality is for free, but one should not concern about money. Of course, spirituality is not about concern about money. Like in that question itself is so beautiful put. But if you want to do any kind of service, of course, nowadays it's not like in ancient time. In ancient time, all the ashram, all the spiritual places was taken care by the king. It was the king's duty to look after the ashram. So there were never something which were missing. Even if the guru want to do a certain project, it was all provided by the treasury of the king. But nowadays, it is different. We are living in a time where there's no king, firstly. Secondly, like it is said, in this time, in Kali Yuga, it is said that charity is the mean for purification. In the Bhavishya Puran, it is said that, And in the Ramayana, it is said that among all the important dharma that one have in Kali Yuga, charity, according to one means, is very important. So when we look at that, when one is doing an act of charity, one is participating in doing something for the benefit of mankind, what does that do on our spiritual path? If we analyze it, we see that when we give something, it's not that it is a very big amount that people have to give, Whatever they can afford to give, that bear a very great merit in itself, And when we are doing that with an attitude of service, that selfless service start to awake inside of us, And also, it creates an expansion in one heart. It may be a very insignificant figures, but what does that do? Your heart deep inside, maybe you don't feel it, but it rejoices, and inside you start to feel compassion. Imagine somebody is on the side of the street asking for food, and you give a certain amount to that person. You will see that that person will be radiant, and that will make you inside feel good. So you see, charity is important, what you do. And look, it's not that anybody is forcing anyone to give anything, but one have to bear in mind that, for example, in the ashram, let's say Sri Pityanilaya, for example, there is lots of expenses which very often people don't see on the outside. But the little that you give, it helps in every part of that. So, as a devotee, like you said, what should our attitude be towards money? and supporting spiritual service activity financially. So this is the question that that person have. Actually, our attitude, of course, being on the spiritual path, very often people think that spiritual people should not have any money. It's not true. You should have money. And that money should be used in the right way. If you use that money in the right way, whatever God have given you, you know that it is for service to Him. This is the right way to use. In the Skanda Puran, it is said that from the wealth one have earned rightfully, 1/10 must be given in charity. And we see that it's not only in the Hindu tradition. You see it in many other religions where charity, or an attitude of help is important. Then the people will say, but yes, if we do something, we go and do something manually, all this of course is all a help. But you see, there is many project also which it's needed the finance to finance this project. So without that, it is very difficult. And also what is our attitude towards charity? It's not only we go there and give the money and finish, that this is easy. We have to understand that which kind of proper way we are doing it. Like Krishna said in chapter 17, verse 20 of Bhagavad Gita, he said, charity given to a worthy person simply because it is right to give, because you feel it, to the Guru, to the project which the Guru have, to the ashram. It is very important, Without, then he said, how to give, that without any consideration of anything in return, without expecting anything in return. That is the attitude what you have when you're giving something. You should just either support, but without expecting something in return. So, and also in a proper time, which means any time. It can be whenever you feel from your heart that you want to give a certain charity to to the Guru's project, to the spiritual service activities, it have not to be any time or places. It can be anywhere, anytime. But you should do it with gratitude. You should do it wholeheartedly. And one thing above all, you see, if you are on a spiritual path and you know that you belong to that path, all your attention should focus upon supporting your path. For example, let's say there is a devotee which have a shop. And the devotees, of course, they know that that devotee have a shop. Or Bhakti Marga shop, for example. In place of buying in another shop, you should always turn towards the devotees, supporting that devotees, or supporting the shop which, at the same time you're supporting the shop, you're supporting the ashram itself. So financially, it stayed inside. It is not going somewhere else for somebody else to profit. So this is the attitude that a devotee should have. Let's support the mission of one Guru. We see that everywhere in other organizations. they will never go and buy something else from somebody else. They will support their own tradition, they will support their own religion, they will support their own path. So like that, this is how you will support spiritually, also financially, your path where you are in. As I'm telling you, there's a beautiful story which I remember about charity. There was once a man, he was always, he will always go to a temple, and when he arrived at the temple, he will put 5 rupees in the donation box. Every day he will make a must and he will come to the temple. He will not buy flowers, fruits, he will not buy things that everybody bring to the temple. No, for him was just 5 rupees in the donation box every day. So as time goes by, sometime he will come with his wife and little daughter to the temple, but he will put the 5 rupees. So as time pass on, 20 years later, the priests have seen him doing that every day and have built a certain affinity with him. So, but as one day he came, he thought that he was looking very worried. So then the priest was wondering, after 20 years, everybody have bought motorcycle, cars, but for him, he still come with his old bicycle. Maybe he's not well, or maybe his daughter, which is already grown up, and it is at marriage-able age. So maybe that's what is worrying him. So after a few days, seeing him, his face was becoming more and more worried. The priest decided to ask him. So he took courage and asked him. Then the man said to him that I have found a boy to get my daughter married, but I don't have that I don't have that money to marry my daughter to him. The wedding will cost at least 25,000 to 30,000 rupees. So the priest said, okay, leave it in the hand of Giridhariji, leave it in the hand of Krishna. He will look after, it is his will. So that night, the priest, when he went to sleep, he could not sleep. So finally, when at the dawn, before waking up, he had a dream. In the dream, he saw that he was counting 5 rupees note. So then he woke up and he realized that in that dream, for sure, God have guided him to count, how much for 20 years, giving 5 rupees every day in the temple, how much it will be. So he calculated it and he saw that the amount that for 5 rupees every day for 20 years, it come to 36,500 rupees. And he was very happy. Then he went and said, let me go to bed again. So he went to bed. As he was sleeping, he fell asleep again. Again, the dream appeared. So then again he woke up. Then he realized that throughout these 20 years, he had put the money on fixed deposit, and the interest for he had also to count the interest for all these 5 rupees, the 36,500. So he calculated again and he come to the conclusion that it is 76,500 with the interest. So he again was very happy, he slept. So he decided that the next day he will take out from the safe of the temple 76,500 and give it to that man when he come. The early morning when the man came to he put his 5 rupees and he was sitting and like looking into the sky, and of course his face was again sad. So they approach him and they hand him over the money. And he said, "What is that?" And he said, "This is the money which throughout this 20 years you have given to God, and God wants you to have this, and also with interest." And he said, and he started crying. He said, "Why?" And as he was crying, his daughter and wife came, and then he told the whole thing to his daughter and wife, and they also stopped crying. Then an idea came, and he asked, "For 20 years I've been giving 5 rupees. Please tell me how much it makes." Then they told him that it makes 36,500. So he counts 36,500 from that money, and he went to the donation box of the temple and looked at Bhagwan's face. He put that 36,500 back into that donation box. And when he looked up, Thakurji was smiling. There was such a radiant, Bhagwan was looking at his devotee's face, and he was feeling that great satisfaction. Then he saw that, he bowed down. He came back. Then the people were confused. And they asked him, why did you do that? He said, "Well, this was my donation. This was my contribution for the food of Bhagwan. I have given that for his bhog, for his food, I didn't expect that he will ever return that to me. And that what he gave me in return, that I will keep for my daughter's wedding, and I will do a very grand wedding with what he have given, that interest, So you see, whatever service you do, especially, let's say, even the little amount that you do service, note one thing, that is purifying you, that is transforming you into a better person. And also it creates a certain detachment with these things, it gives you a sense of detachment, but this is not the only thing in life. Money can't buy everything, but I can support, I can give at least, somebody asked me, Swamiji, every time when there's darshan, I give a very little amount for darshan, Then he said, I give only, let's say, he didn't say how much, Then I said then he was feeling bad, and I said to him, look, it doesn't matter how much you give, the most important thing is with what attitude you're giving, So even if it is just 5 euros you're giving for darshan, it is a big help actually for the ashram itself, So that kind of attitude one must have, because you see, nowadays nothing is for free. And whatever we have to do, everything have a certain cost in itself. So do it with love, whatever you do. So, take a good day.